Switch gears, obviously. Very first ever Lonzo Ball 2017-2018 NBA MVP watch update.
Yes. And now this time is I'm literally out.
All right. Have a good night. You guys say good night to Tony.
Later, guys.
All right. So
Lonzo Ball MVP.
Yep, the Lonzo.
Put my money on it in Vegas. That's why I gotta go.
The Lonzo Ball 2017-2018 NBA MVP watch.
Well,
update.
As I said originally, he does have the MVP for Summer League.
Most important thing, the shoes he's wearing.
Yeah.
All right.
Whichever per game. Yeah. He's trying to start a bidding war.
When he wears the Big Baller brand, over 2 games, he averages 8 points, 8 assists, 7.5 rebounds. Wearing Jordans, 16 points, 10 assists, 4 rebounds. Wearing Under Armour, 14 points, 7 assists, 9 rebounds. Wearing Nike, 36 points, 11 assists, 8 rebounds. And wearing Adidas, he goes 16 points, 12 assists, 10 rebounds.
So clearly the Big Baller brand is shot. You can't wear it and
listen, B all day. Give me that Big Baller brand. All right. Lonzo Ball will be your 2017-2018 NBA MVP. And this is why. He is the MVP of the Las Vegas Summer League. Not just the championship game, the Summer League. All right? All right. So that is your 2017-2018 Lonzo Ball NBA MVP watch update.
You heard it here, folks.
You heard it here.
I'm going to just go ahead and point out that Summer League, doesn't translate to the regular season at all.
Listen, this is the Dan D'Antoni Lonzo Ball 2017-2018 NBA MVP watch update. All right. We're also using this.
And arguably, there was an argument for the Lakers' other prospect, Kyle Kuzma. He has looked lights out.
He was the championship game MVP. But we're not talking about him because he's not Lonzo Ball. We're going to use this, though, as a segue to talk about the Knicks. All right. Cue the sad music. So, Phil Jackson was fired on June 28th. I just want, yes or no, was this the right move, knowing what you know now?
I think so.
I knowing what I know now, yes and no. I think the media kind of did their thing as they frequently do in New York, and started a witch hunt. But at the same time, he mishandled it kind of from several months back, and the entire Melo thing. He would say the right things, and then he would just completely shoot himself and say the complete wrong thing at the end of it. Like, he just needed to stop a sentence short, and he would have been fine.
I mean, in all fairness, I use the word posse like it's no one's business.
That's not even like the biggest thing, though. Is like
entourage.
He could have just said like, "Oh, we're not looking to trade KP at this time," or "KP is untradeable." But instead, he's like, "Oh, we're listening." You don't say that even if you are listening.
Even if he said, "In my opinion, no player is bigger than the team, so we're always listening to offers for every player." If he had said that, I would have been fine with it. Because I agree, no player is bigger than the team. Except if you're looking at it, LeBron James.
Right.
But even realistically, LeBron James is not bigger than the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Yeah.
So if that's what he had said, I would have been okay. Understandable. No player is bigger than the team. You listen to trade talks all season long for all players. I got you. I'll accept it. No problem.
I wasn't super pumped about Mills. I worry that he's a Dolan lackey. I don't know that for sure, and maybe this season, his first as president will kind of...
This isn't his first as president. He's been president before of the Knicks.
Right. Interim. His first as full-fledged...
As the appointed.
Yeah. Maybe he'll show that he's not Dolan's lackey. I really, really like the Scott Perry as the new GM.
I don't know anything about him other than his full name is the last names of two politicians that I detest. I don't like Rick Scott. I don't like Rick Perry. Dan D'Antoni Sports hot take.
You're only probably in agreement with 99% of the country.
Okay. Is that legitimate?
Oh yeah, I looked that up just now. But no, he has been able to build a culture on his past couple of teams of young talent and teams that work well together, and he's been very, very highly touted by every organization he's been with.
I don't know if I completely agree with that, with the whole building talent, because wasn't he most recently the GM of the Magic?
No, he was assistant GM for, I thought it was the Suns or something. Let me look that up. But yeah, he's been hyped up. Everyone pretty much said that this is from what I've seen from all the analysts, they're all pretty much saying this is a really good signing. Oh, there actually is a Scott Perry in politics.
Yeah.
Oh, interesting.
Pretty much from what I heard was between...
he was hired by the Orlando Magic general manager Rob Hennigan to become his vice president and assistant general manager. That was in 2012.
Between, back to my point, there was Scott Perry and Steve Mills. And it was going to be more of a collaborative effort where he was just going to kind of step back and let Scott Perry
right.
Yeah, make his picks and kind of run it by him.
Oh, he was with the Kings. That's who it was. He was executive vice president of basketball operations. And the Kings had one of their best off seasons in years with him at the helm there. And the Knicks job is apparently his dream job.
I would think, honestly... Well, first of all, if I'm getting hired for a job, I'm going to say this is the job I wanted, regardless. Second of all, shouldn't New York City be the place that you want your dream job to be if you're in sports or the media? Shouldn't that be like no?
With what just happened with Phil, I'd be a little wary of going there and getting all that media attention. That's Well,
Phil did it to himself. Phil did it to himself. The Zen master was a little too zen. But so that takes care of the first part. The Knicks were committed to trading Carmelo Anthony while Phil Jackson was there. Well, Phil Jackson was committed to trading Carmelo Anthony.
Yeah.
And then after he was fired, they said they were still committed to trading Carmelo Anthony. So what would make anyone believe that this regime would be different than what Phil Jackson was doing? It's the same concept, except he's not talking crap about KP as well.
I don't think it is different. I think maybe I think they did back away from the trade a little bit because they wanted the new GM and president to be settled first. Not make a deal where the new GM comes in and feels hamstrung right away. But I think them saying, we could see Melo playing here. I think that's just kind of smoke.
Well, yeah, especially now that Carmelo said he's not going to play for the Knicks,
right? But I think it was all along. It was just trying to get whatever it is that they really wanted.
Like what is it you're
Rockets
looking
from
for?
Whoever a third or fourth party would be.
What are they even looking for? The big things that they should be looking for is someone younger and someone to take on his cap or his salary. You can't expect to be getting everything
probably
back.
Want picks. I think they want Mo Harkless, which I like Mo, but they didn't want to take on the Anderson contract. And for the Rockets to get Melo, they need to get rid of Anderson, and that's a horrible contract. And it's 4 years on it still that nobody wants. So they need another team to take that. So maybe they just had to. Maybe the Rockets were giving up something to another team that the Knicks wanted, but the Knicks don't want Ryan Anderson at the same time. I think the trade's still going to happen. I think it's going to happen within probably the next month.
Yeah, I mean, I thought it was going to happen within the next week, and then a week passed.
Yeah,
I'm like, it's going to happen the next week.
It's going to heat up again, I think,
yeah.
like this week, and then it's going to be like another week or two.
Well, especially now that Carmelo said there's no way I'm playing for the Knicks.
Well, it's not up to him, but yeah.
I mean, it is up to him. He's getting paid no matter what. I bet he will. If he's still on the roster, he will sit.
I don't know.
I bet he will sit because he is in control. The Rockets are still going to pay him. So even if he sits out for the season, he's still going to get paid. Not because the Rockets are going to be like, well, his skills. It's not because his skills are diminished. It's literally because the Knicks wanted too much. So then they'll just get him in the offseason when he doesn't resign. So I think he will just sit until he forces their hand to either release him or trade him. So that's what I think is going to happen with the Melo saga. So he's willing to trade waive not only his no trade clause but the trade kicker, which would save the Knicks some money, which is the ultimate good guy move. Thanks, Melo.
I think they need to get the deal done, and I think everyone knows that.
Well, I mean, right now he said he's only willing to play for Houston and Cleveland, which would open up more things if he'd be willing to go to Washington or Portland. I think Washington
makes sense. I don't know why he's not considering it. Portland.
Damian Lillard, Mike Conley, and Carmelo. I think that'd be great.
Yeah, I don't think he wants to be in Portland. I don't know. He really wants to play with Chris Paul or LeBron, and that seems to be the driving factor.
Yeah, that is probably exactly what it is, because before he said he wanted to be on the East Coast, Houston and Cleveland are, guess what? Not on the East Coast.
Yeah.
All right, so that doesn't make a lick of sense, but I think going to Portland would probably be smart for him because he wouldn't be like the odd man out in the group. He would be completing the group. If he goes to Washington, he's basically going to what could have been a title contender and just getting added as an extra piece. Like, he's the barbecue sauce to the Nuggets. Chicken nuggets, not the Denver Nuggets. You know what I mean? Like, their team is already the chicken nuggets. They just need that barbecue sauce to make it perfect.
Yeah,
that's what he is.
I don't know.
He wouldn't be a nugget.
He's
already been a nugget.
That team should covet. I think they're silly if they don't want him, and I think everyone recognizes that. So it's really. He does have an immense amount of power with that no trade clause. So
he's also, honestly, the Knicks aren't going to get back what they want for him.
No, the point is to get something decent, and I really think this is just kind of smoke, and that they're going to pretty much concede that within the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, I'm guessing
for the Knicks. I mean, it's going to be so much better once they, are able to start fresh. I think. Get him out of the picture.
As long as they don't get Ryan Anderson.
No.
Not without 2 first-round picks in 2020 and 2022.
Yeah.
I don't see it being a quick fix, but be it 3 or 4 years time, maybe start the build and.
Well, no, I think they're a lot closer to an actual build than they seem, because they have the pieces in place. One of the things I was really holding the Knicks back was the selfishness of Derrick Rose. And he's not being re-signed by the Knicks.
Well, I think you can say that if Frank
Ntilikina,
if he pans out, you can say that. If he doesn't, then he's just and becomes just another role player. Then they're still kind of far back.
Yeah, I think he's going to end up being something good.
And Tim Hardaway Jr. signing. I hate the contract. It's way too much. They could have gotten him for 50 over 4 instead of, I think it was 70. Was it 71?
71.2 or something.
Yeah.
Like that. We'll
way too much.
We'll get into that in just a minute. I have some other Carmelo things I want to ask first.
Oh my god! Enough with him.
Well,
Tired of Carmelo.
The Knicks obviously would prefer to trade or keep him, but do you see a scenario where they still just buy him out?
No. Why would you? Because if it's the Knicks, you know, yes, that's what he wants, but you're still paying for him and not